It is often said that lust can poison the mind and destroy wisdom. But how exactly does it erode one's self-discipline? This truth reveals itself in the story of a monk who walked the path of celibacy only to fall into temptation. Deep within a quiet forest, a hermit monk lived in a hut he built with his own hands. He had renounced all worldly desires and devoted his life to meditation and spiritual practice. His discipline was unwavering, his mind calm like still water. One day, a king entered the forest for hunting, but after hours, he found no prey. Tired and thirsty, he wandered aimlessly until he stumbled upon the monk's hut. Weakened by hunger and dehydration, he collapsed at the doorstep. The monk opened the door and found the king unconscious. He gently sprinkled water on his face and helped him sit up. The king drank some water, ate fruit, and slowly regained his strength. Grateful for the kindness, the king folded his hands and said, "You have saved my life. Ask for anything, and I shall grant it." The monk smiled serenely and replied, "I ask for nothing, for I have renounced all desire." The king, impressed by his purity, invited the monk to visit the royal palace. Months later, the monk decided to accept the invitation and journeyed there. The king welcomed him with honor and assigned his most graceful maid to care for him. The maid was beautiful, soft-spoken, and devoted in her service. She served him meals, attended to his needs, and even fanned him while he rested. The monk, unfamiliar with feminine presence, began to feel strange stirrings within. What began as admiration soon turned into desire. His eyes began to linger, and his once disciplined thoughts were now clouded with fantasies. The fire of lust slowly began to burn in the corners of his tranquil mind. Each day, her gentle touch awakened something he could not control. He no longer found peace in meditation or silence. His heart beat not with devotion, but with desire. One day, he asked her, "Are you married?" She blushed and said, "No, I'm unmarried." Temptation fully gripped him now as he asked, "Will you meet me outside the palace?" She smiled and replied, "Yes, sir. My village is nearby. Your visit would be an honor." The monk agreed and promised to come the very next morning. That night, his thoughts were consumed by her not prayer, not purity. At dawn, he rushed to her house, where she welcomed him warmly. She served him food with care, and he felt an unusual comfort. But within, his soul trembled with conflict between discipline and desire. He thought of marriage, but hesitated, fearing her rejection. He was a monk after all, and she might not accept his love. Yet her beauty continued pulling him away from his vows. He began visiting her every day, spending long hours at her home. Soon the villagers noticed his odd behavior and grew concerned. They approached the king, saying, "Your guest monk is no longer walking the path of wisdom." The king, Distu,